Today we're taking a look at Screamer running on the Xbox Ally X. Screamer is basically what you would get if anime met Need for Speed. I'm going to be showing you the kind of performance you can expect along with some gameplay. If you enjoy handheld performance tests like this and want to see more, then make sure to go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and let's get to it. And when you first boot up the game, you are going to be given two options, a quick settings and a custom. With custom, you can just go into it, adjust everything as you wish, but I do recommend using the quick settings. It's going to walk you through a few basic options like brightness, and then it's going to drop you straight into the game. It keeps everything simple, and the game really does look great with just these default choices. You'll also be asked to select your difficulty, which you can go ahead and change later on if needed. As for gameplay, performance is very solid. The game stays around 50 to 60 FPS consistently with minor dips into the 40s, no matter what type of race you're in. It feels very smooth throughout, and I didn't really run into any major issues while playing the game. Now, when it comes to the controls, it does take a little getting used to, especially when it comes to handling. Everything works perfectly fine, but drifting is handled with the right analog stick, and it depends on how much input you give it. You can't just push it all the way to one side and just expect to actually drift that way. You need to be a little bit more precise with it, and the speed also plays a role. It takes a little bit of practice to get used to, so you'll probably see a few crashes here while I'm actually getting the hang of it. But overall, it feels really good once you get used to it. Now, as for the settings that I'm currently using, in order to access them, you are going to have to go ahead and exit out of any racer mode that you happen to be in order to return to the main menu. You can do this by just quitting the race or backing out. You can't adjust the settings while in a race, unfortunately. If you happen to be in a tournament, it will just remember where you were, and then you could go back to that later on. Once you're on the main menu, you're going to go ahead and press the start button or the little button that looks like a hamburger. And then once you press that, it's going to drop you into the settings. From here, you could go ahead and adjust everything that you wanted to. If you happen to have used the quick settings, you can adjust the AI difficulty, the tournament difficulty, all that and whatnot. If you wanted to, this is where you do it here. But what we're looking for is the graphics. So we're going to go over to that. Now for my setup, I do have it set to full screen. Motion blur is set to medium. It was on high by default, but I lowered it slightly. VSync is off. Scaling type I have set to TSR with scaling mode set to high. Frame rate is set to dynamic FPS, and frame generation is turned off. If you want, you can go ahead and enable that if you want to. But overall, quality settings, everything is set to low, and I'm running this at 1080p using 17-watt performance mode. Even at low settings, the game still looks very good. If you want to push the visuals just a little bit further, you could go ahead and increase the TDP to 25 watt or 35 watts, and then move those settings to medium. But honestly, at 17 watts, you're getting a really good balance between performance, visuals, and battery life. Now, the gameplay that you are seeing here is it running at 35 watt turbo with the settings set to medium, just to give you an idea of what this will look like and perform. As you see here, the FPS did lose a little bit, so now we're looking at around 45 average than what we were looking at before with the 55. Overall, the game looks great either way, and it runs really well on the Xbox Ally X. Performance is consistent, visuals still hold up nicely, even on the lower settings, and I didn't run into any major issues while playing this game. But however, that is going to be it for this one. This was Screamer running on the Xbox Ally X. If you happen to have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And if the video helped you out, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you on the next one.